What's up, guys? Welcome into the Packers Total Access postgame show, victory edition. The Green Bay Packers beat the Indianapolis Colts 16-10 at Lambeau Field. A beautiful Lambeau Field there today. And, man, what a fun game to watch as all the Malik Willis haters are they're hiding in the bushes right now, fellas. I will say that. It's just hilarious seeing that Taylor Lewan threw his old teammate under the bus earlier today. You had our I'm trying to think of the nice way to put it, our little buddy from the Indianapolis Colts fan club that was singing this song. Jacob, how'd that song go?
These are our Colts. These are our team. We love them.
All right, that's enough of that. Right. Amelia, what are you doing over? Changing stuff around on the band?
Yeah, well, I don't know. It was scrolling too fast for me.
Drinking,
huh? Have I been drinking this morning? Maybe.
Bon dia.
I had a little in the coffee this morning, yeah.
All right, let's do this real quick. Let's give a shout out. They're going to hate that we did it, but let's give a shout out to our good friends over at Ticket King, the official ticket provider of Packer Fan Total Access Live. Wisconsin-based since 1992, specializing in Packers tickets. They're Wisconsin's largest ticket source with offices next to Lambeau and in Milwaukee. Click on the link in the video description that'll send you to theticketking.com where you can register for free as a customer. Go and start shopping for your Packers tickets. Again, that's Ticket King, the official ticket provider of Packer Fan Total Access Live. So, man, this was a fun one, guys. And again, we got receipts aplenty. Recibos are flowing like the geese of Capistrano. Funny thing this morning for the pregame show, the very first comment this morning. You ready for this, Emilio? You didn't see this one.
I missed it.
This was the very – look, 5:08 a.m. This is going to be a bloodbath. Colts 37, Packers.
That's
wow.
Sorry about it, bub.
James came in strong.
He did, man. I don't know where – I don't expect to see James in the comments here in the postgame,
Right.
but it's funny how that happens, man. They end up on a milk carton after they talk that crap. You know what I'm saying?
I like the confidence. Just where are you, James? Where you be at?
Maybe he'll swing through. Who knows?
Must be working in the auto industry.
Exactly. And here was another one too, like we had mentioned earlier. We'll just go through the receipts real quick, then we'll get into the box score. Let's have some fun with this one. So Matt Snyman had tweeted this out and said, former Titans offensive tackle Taylor Lewan in this show, and he quote tweeted the show from Barstool Sports. It's got Big Cat, of course, the Bears apologist. Quote, I like Malik Willis. He's a good human being. Always has a smile on his face when you see him in the locker room. Guy doesn't really know ball, unfortunately. The thing about Malik is when it comes to checks, cans, anything, oppo, he has a tough time seeing safeties. He has a tough time seeing where blitzes are coming from. And Matt LaFleur running a very similar offense to what Arthur Smith ran in Tennessee. I don't see LaFleur making such a dramatic change where it's like, hey, we're doing day one installs for this guy. Bro, they came out in the very first drive with the pony package and Reed in the backfield. You're talking about 2 and 3 options on one play. Matt LaFleur, somebody put some spec on his damn name.
He was in.
If he does not call the game he calls in the first quarter, I'm telling you, you probably do get boat race. But he called the perfect game plan in the first half, and he knew just the perfect moment to take his foot off the gas and allow the pressure to set in on the Colts. It would have been real easy to be too aggressive, turn the ball over, and give them an opportunity to get back in the game. I thought he just had a phenomenal play calling. And again, what was Malik? Was he 12 or 14? Is that what he finished at?
I think so.
Something like that for like 12 or 14 for like 114 or something like that. And I will say real quick, I completely disagree with Clayton. I do. And this is why we should have discussions. We're not going to sugarcoat stuff on this podcast. We're not going to all sit here and lick gumdrops together and I'll be like, oh, it's all fine. I do not like the way that Matt LaFleur called this game whatsoever. I thought the way that he called the game in the third, in the 2-minute drill, I thought it was absolutely disgusting. When we did a 3rd and 10 at the 20 and we did a delayed quarterback, a delayed handoff, I thought that was horrible calling. We barely won this game. We won it by 6 points. We could have been at the gist of anything other. I just want to put that out there because I want you guys to know that this podcast is not, we're not all sitting around, rubbing each other's backs. That's not what we're doing.
Easy now, easy.
That's my point, though. Doesn't it? You don't want to listen to a podcast where it's like everybody does the thing. We all nod together.
Just a tip, though.
I completely disagree with Clayton, but the end result of the game, I can't deny. We won the game, but they had a chance to win it at the end. You guys can't deny that. 100%, they had a really good chance to win the game, and they probably had 3 or 4 chances to win the game when they should not have if we would have thrown the hammer down. That's my opinion. I know it's going to be fact-checked by Clayton. I know that, and the dude is smarter than I am.
I'm going to have to put on the hater blockers, Jacob, and
put those on, buddy.
I
always knew you were. What would you say? What was you saying?
Dude, I thought Matt was in his bag. First quarter.
You didn't say that at halftime.
What do you mean? I said, yeah, I didn't like how he ran the second half, or I didn't like how he ran the 2 minutes going into half, but he was able to keep the ball and not lose it, right? Our biggest, no wonder you couldn't do that, Clay, man. That was wild.
I'm telling you, but
our biggest thing was we held on to the ball. We didn't turn it over. The middle 8 was big, right? We tied and scored 3-3, but we didn't turn it over. I think Matt was happy going in with that 10 lead. Our bigger issue was not finishing in the red zone again, and 2, holding and dumb mistake penalties that are holding the offense back. Yes. I mean, that's our bottom line issue.
No, I'm kind of being half serious. Like I really did feel that way. And I texted Clayton, and me and him actually did have a conversation where we're like, I don't like it. And he's like, this is why you're wrong. And I said, okay, that's probably true. I don't want to be one of those podcasts where it's like, we all agree and we're all great. I legitimately halfway through the game thought that it was a horrible play calling situation. Clayton did tell me that he thinks I'm wrong. And clearly I was. We ended up winning the game. So that's all it is. I just, like I said, again, I don't want to be a yes man. I would rather just have some back and forth here. I thought it was a horrible decision to not even try to go for points. When we had 2 minutes left with the ball with 3 timeouts, I don't remember the last time the Packers had 2 minutes left with 3 timeouts and had momentum.
So let me ask you, here's my question. Let me hit Brambo real quick. Brambo, thank you for the super chat, buddy. We appreciate you.
Yes.
I said on Ryan's stream, anyone upset with how we won this needs to chill. Into 3 start quarterbacks and 1, it was a team victory that will solidify this team. Here's the thing. We were the underdog, right? They were 3-point favorites, and we were at home. So what's that tell you? Typically, you catch 3 at home, so it's kind of a push, right? It was going to be a close, tight window game all the way down the stretch. This is what I said to Jacob in the text when we were disagreeing on this. If Matt LaFleur decides to be aggressive before halftime, what were they up 10-0? Am I thinking right, fellas? Yeah. 10-0, right? If you're up 10-0 and you get aggressive and you turn the ball over there and they go down and score 7 points, you just handed them the middle 8. You just handed them the middle 8, and they get the ball back after halftime. Think about that. You're talking about a potential 14-point swing in the matter of 4 minutes, 6 minutes if you include the last 2 minutes of the second quarter. Now, what I said to Jacob is me sitting here saying that's how I'm looking at the game is going. You can tell this is a slow-paced game. We're controlling the clock. They cannot stop our running game. So if we lean on the clock now becomes your opponent. If you prevent them from getting any momentum in the middle 8 and going into the second half, and you continue to play this game out and you pass when you have to when they load the box, which I don't know, it was literally coaching malpractice that they did not load the box. That cracked me up, that they were refusing to load the box early on. And we just continue to run the ball down their throat. If we go down, if you choose to be aggressive and throw that interception, the same people, and Jacob, I want to say this excludes you, but you tell me if it does include you.
Oh, it's me, dude. Shut up. It's
the same 3 people that were saying you should have been aggressive. They are in fits the rest of the game when you lose that ball game. It's damned if you do and damned if you don't. All I'm simply saying is the pace of the game, the feel of the game, the momentum of the game. LaFleur in his mind was, you know what? Let's go into halftime with the lead. Let's keep the ball away from them. Let's make sure they don't get a 2-score swing here coming out of halftime, and let's readjust in the second half. I thought it was absolutely freaking beautiful. There's not a person on the face of God's green earth giving the Packers a chance to win this game today. With Malik Willis, who had a career quarterback rating of like 39, and Matt LaFleur goes out and absolutely dominates the play call. He was in his bag all first half. And half, he said, "You know what? Let's throw this gun on autopilot, and let's just land this sucker nice and soft."
Let me add to that because I would rather him be ready and studied up on the plays on those couple reverses that we ran. I'm happy he had those handoffs down. I'm happy he had all that. I don't need him to be running a 2-minute offense right this second. You know what I mean? Like I'm happy Malik got us down the field so many times he did. I'm glad he gave our kicker opportunities. All those things were huge for us. But again, red zone still needs to be tightened up.
Again, 12 of 14, 122 yards, a touchdown, and oh, by the way, he had 41 rushing yards.
Right.
Jacob. Matt LaFleur, bro. This dude, we said it. This guy's got an opportunity to shut all that.
Emilio, you okay?
Hey, you want me to get you a DeWalt battery over there, bro?
Oh, boy. You just made him mad, dude. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Chris with the super chat says, what do you think about Malik Willis's performance today? Chris, thank you so much for the super chat, buddy. I thought he played phenomenal. He didn't try to do you know how many people, you know how many quarterbacks that go out there and get that hero syndrome and be like, you know what, they don't think I can play. I'm gonna go win this thing. And then the throw to Dobbs, I know there's some there's like it's underthrown, and it was. He knew, let me put enough air under this thing where Dobby can at least knock it down or give himself a chance to catch that ball. And what about Romeo Dobbs, man? You talking about clutch. That dude, because that was a huge play. Am I wrong? That seemed like a huge play.
That was
a third down jump ball, right?
Epic. And the way that, like you just talked about, it was maybe a little bit underthrown, but the way that he made that position, the replay didn't do it justice because they started it when he made the catch. He stopped his route, understood that it was underthrown, came back, planted his foot, went above the defender there, and made an acrobatic catch. I just think, again, and that's one of my points, Clay, that I will reiterate here is that Malik Willis 10 for 12 for like 100 and whatever it was. He looked good when we let him throw the ball. Let him throw the ball, dude. Like there's no reason it should have been 10 to 16. We should have been up like 28-10. That's what I'm saying. That's my only critique. That's what I'm saying is that once you realize that Malik Willis is I think that we got ourselves a backup quarterback for quite a while. He is and the way that he ran the ball, I will tell you, that guy he's talented. He is talented. They talked about how Richardson, he's Cam Newton reincarnate, blah, blah, blah. What I saw on the other side was Malik Willis planting legs, backing dudes up. Like he was making guys look like children out there when he ran the ball.
Yeah. Mandy just came up here and slid this across the update desk. She wrote it on a piece of paper, right?
Dude, those are the best. Michael loves his sticky notes. Sometimes Tim brings them in, and it just says, "Hey, buddy."
Tell me I got a call.
He said Washington just won 21 points on all field goals. Their kicker was 7 for 7. The Washington Commanders.
That's the kicker Jacob wanted.
That's the guy. That's the
I got it.
Another trucker, I swear.
Unbelievable.
Hey, on that note, Narvison.
Chris for the super chat. Okay. I appreciate it.
How about that, Narvison, guys?
But yeah,
very impressed with that guy.
Jacob, but to your Malik point, all I'll give you is a number 4.7, and I'll have you look over there, and his name starts with Josh, and it ends with your name. And my man carried the ball 32 times for over 4.5 yards a carry.
That's wild.
Give it to him 3 times in a row. That's a first down.
32 carries for 151. And what's crazy is they loaded the box in the second half and shut him down. That first half, they had no answer for him, man.
I'll tell you what, Josh Jacobs looks exactly like the guy that we thought he would be. Not last year's Josh Jacobs. I'm talking 2022?
Yeah.
2023. He was, I'm talking making cuts. The cut, I don't know, guys, if you remember this, it was I thought it was like a 3rd and 6 or something like that. He cut so hard on the interior that the dude literally looked like he just gave up on life. Like
a 3rd and 3, he just put him on the stop.
But then there was another one where there was where he took it around the outside and he was going around like the right hash or whatever, and the defender had dead to rights to him, and Josh Jacobs knew like I just have to deke him out. He went so hard with that deke, and then it made me really understand is why we valued this guy so much. He's a freak, man. You give that guy the ball, he is absolutely worth the money. I really do think that.
Togrel with the super chat. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. He says Malik's not that good. Matt made him look good. I'll tell you this, Togrel, as much as I want to disagree with you, that's what history says. No one has been able to make Malik look good so far. He's had 4 offensive coordinators, and he sure looked the part with Matt. Matt's a quarterback whisperer, no doubt. So, again, I just hope he gets the respect he deserves, he being Matt. And Malik, too. But Matt was just – what a phenomenal game plan, man. As soon as I seen open and drive pony package, Jaden Reed in the backfield, I went, oh, okay, Matty, here we go.
Well, I mean, wouldn't it be like looking at Kyle and Brock? Like, oh, Brock Purdy's not a quarterback, but Kyle made him, makes him look like that. Why can't Matt get that kind of respect?
Right. Yeah. So let's do this. Let's go to the touchdown pass that Malik Willis had. We just pulled it up on Next Gen Stats here. The play call was 11 gun, nub left, F zipper, flood, Y drag, T swing. And this was the touchdown pass again by Malik Willis. Let's see if I can get down here to where I can actually play it. Still see it on the screen here. All right. So what we're talking about here, nub left. Notice there's a tight end on the left side. That's what you call a nub tight end on the left side. Okay. So that's nub left, or you could say tray right, meaning there's 3 wide receivers. I'm sorry, trips right. There's 3 wide receivers on the right side. Nub left, T same. T's on the same side as the tight end. So we're going F zipper flood. The F was Dontavion Wicks. He's going to do zipper motion, or what I refer to as yo-yo from time to time. He's going to motion over like cheat motion and then come straight back with a run and go on that cheat and run an out route. So with flood, what we're talking about was F zipper. That's your zipper motion. Flood concept is where the number 1 runs a go, the number 2 runs an out, the number 3 runs a flat or an underneath the out, okay? So it's kind of a shallower version of the out. So you're flooding one side of the field. You've got your T with the drag across underneath, and then, of course, the Y with the drag underneath, and then you got the T with the swing pass. So, again, it was nub left, 11 gun, nub left, F zipper flood, Y drag, T swing for the touchdown. We'll put it in motion here, and you'll see the zipper motion come across, go back. Beautiful throw by Malik Willis with pressure in his lap too. And I remember this too. They were like, man, that could have been a pick 6. That ball was nowhere near being picked. He put just enough on it. Good timing. Perfect throw.
The dude thought that he could get there. That's what it looked like. From the TV copy, it looked like that he jumped the route, and you can kind of see it here. When the dude breaks off the 10, I mean, he tried to get under that route. The ball just got there in time. I mean, starts from the left hash. Let's drift him over a little bit. I like it.
Yeah.
It was from the far hash. So
Malik Willis has a strong arm. He has a strong arm. The knock on him has been the touch. Has been kind of like Anthony Richardson, right? Can he throw those short? Did you guys see what I was talking about in the pregame? Like the short intermediate passing with Anthony Richardson, it's not there. It's not there at all. It's so inaccurate.
And we talked about that.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, he's got a cannon for an arm, but that doesn't matter when you can't layer your passes and you can't make good decisions. Mm-hmm. He's one of the most overrated quarterbacks in the league.
I like to see that heat map after this game.
Yep. And did you notice the Eric Wilson interception, Emilio? It came on the right side, on the cold side of his heat map. Like they forced him to throw right, and that's where Eric Wilson picks that ball off. I'm telling you, he's way more comfortable throwing to his left than his right. No doubt about it. So, and obviously he is Pierce there late for the touchdown. Quay Walker at the end with the dropped interception, man, that really hurt. I wanted that for Quay bad. But overall, man, the defense, what else can you ask for, right? I mean, you end up giving up, what was the total again? I know I got to scroll them across. I'm looking at a different screen. 10 points. Oh, yeah. So, 16, and really the seven of those 10 were kind of, you're almost, I don't want to say you're in prevent, but you're more or less, you're playing the clock at that point, right?
Right.
Chad Inc., been a member of the PTA posse for 6 months now. Stokes hurt or Valentine fit the game plan better? That's a great question, Chad. I didn't see anyone tweet out about Stokes getting hurt. Jacob, did you hear anything about Stokes being hurt, man?
No, but that's a good question, man, because I literally was watching out there and I'm thinking, I saw Valentine, I saw Ballantyne, I saw a lot of guys, and I'm thinking, where the heck is Stokes? Yeah. I did not see anything.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out. And again, Chad, thank you for being a member, buddy. Shout out to CJN gifted 10 PTA memberships here on YouTube to random viewers. Appreciate you, CJ, and we'll make sure we get them into the giveaways coming up here soon. We'll probably do one next week, as a matter of fact. I've got a couple of pieces of memorabilia we're going to be giving away. So thank you so much, CJ, and appreciate you, buddy. You're awesome. Let's see if we can find everybody comb through Twitter in the chat. See if you can find anything on Stokes. See if we're missing something there. Because, again, I noticed Valentine coming in as well. But back to the box score here. What else stood out to you guys about this game? What do you feel like was the big thing? Because to the best of my knowledge, Emilio, didn't the middle eight – I thought the middle eight was 0-0. Did you say it was 3-3? Is that what you said?
I was just looking at the score in the third, so it probably was, but it probably was 0-0, no turnovers.
So the turnover differential was 1-1 to the best of my knowledge, okay? And the middle eight was 0-0. So it was a push on both of those. So what's it come down to? Probably explosive plays, right?
Right.
Probably, you bet. Now, they got a significant amount of explosive plays there in the second half. You can tell that we stopped keying in on the run as much. And you guys remember when me and Jacob had that exchange on text, what's the first thing I said? They'll probably start giving up the run a little bit to make sure that they don't take away that they don't give up the big pass.
Right.
And that's really what allowed them to get back in it. But that's called playing the clock and not your opponent, you know. But as far as receiving, man, Romeo Doubs, 3 targets, 3 catches, 62 yards. With Malik Willis at quarterback, that's phenomenal, man. Like, that's so good. Now, Tavion Wicks, 4 targets, 3 catches, 26 yards, and that F-zipper touchdown. Tucker Kraft, 2 targets, 2 catches, 16 yards. Had a crucial conversion there at one point, too. Yeah. So, what were you going to say, Jake?
No, it's just crazy because the announcers, like, kind of basically said it, what we were all thinking. Like, when we're up 10-0, it feels like it should be 28-0 right now.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there watching the game. And if you could scroll up just a second there, Clay, and let us see. I had no idea that Jonathan Taylor somehow got 103 yards rushing. That just doesn't seem like what I watched in the game, although obviously he did. And it just – and I think that's a great indicator. At one point, this defense was absolutely shutting them down with everything. And it was fun to watch, man. And so the fact that JT got 103, that very surprising to me. You know,
that's what started to happen there. I think it was in the third quarter when they started to press into the run. Got late in the third, early in the fourth, they started pressing into the run, and you could tell the Packers were going, okay, you want to run the ball? We'll let you have the run.
Right.
Let them run the clock off a little bit because those boxes got way lighter. We figured they would start throwing the ball down the field.
Right. But doesn't that – I'm sorry, and I hate to keep going back on you and all this kind of stuff, but doesn't it seem indicative that they were still able to run the ball in the late fourth quarter against us? You know what I'm saying? Like, does that make sense? That, like, we still have the option to run the ball in the fourth quarter against a team that should be putting us away right now. That to me just seems.
That's what I was saying in the text thread, man. That's the play call for the coaches. Like, you want them to run the ball. The last thing you want to do is give up explosives. You don't want to give up explosives in the air. Now they got explosives on the ground. That's not part of the game plan. But you start lightening that box because you don't want to get hit for the big touchdown. That when you get late in the third quarter and you've got a 2-score lead, that clock becomes your opponent. And I know fans hate hearing that. They hate hearing it. But I'm telling you, if you approach it any other way, yeah, you might get a few more blowouts over the course of your career, but you're going to lose a lot of games you should have freaking won. And those same fans that are complaining about that would be screaming, fire Matt LaFleur, 0-2 start, Jeff Hafley's overrated, all the stuff that we hear, all these hot button topics and takes that you see on Twitter. They would be hammering that stuff right now on Twitter if they had lost that game because they decided to play overly aggressive. That's what would happen. So.
Do you think it's fair to say that the penalty situation right now is unacceptable? Like, that to me is –
I've never been a fan of Coach Buck as an offensive line, man. I feel like who else can you blame for all the penalties on the O-line? That's the thing that gets me. Like, what were their back-to-back holding calls? Is that what it was? Am I thinking right? We had back-to-back holding calls.
Indianapolis had 0 at one point. We had 5 for like 78 yards. Like, it was just ridiculous.
I called 7 on the first game. We ended up with 10. How many did we end up with today? I mean, the problem is anything over 5 is an issue. I mean, it would be different if it's 5 5-yard penalties. All right, you gave up 25 in actual yardage, but once we get those, holdings, pass interference, all that stuff, that's an issue. But I like back to your timing of the game. I mean, let him run the ball, or else we wouldn't have been at 49 seconds by the time Richardson got the ball back with no timeouts left. Like if that clock didn't run like it did, they would have had timeouts. Maybe they would have had a 2-minute warning or something like that. And we just played the game. I mean, the dude doubled his attempts and still ended up around 50% completion. Yeah. So we just played the game. He just threw the ball more.
Absolutely, man. And I know, thank you, Coach Lamb became a member here on YouTube. Appreciate you, buddy. Got all the old members following back in. Thank you.
Thank you.
Somebody said something about Josh Myers is unacceptable. I will handle no Josh Myers slander today, and I'll say you why.
He did well, right?
You can't hardly see it here, but this man is throwing up right before the snap. Go to my Twitter. I can't play the video, but yeah, he literally gets set. They're calling the cadence, and he goes, and he makes sure he doesn't puke on the ball. He goes, comes back, snaps the ball. And
said, "Watch out, Alan."
That's exactly right.
He really did, though. That is insane, too. That, like, he had the wherewithal. He's like, I'm going to puke. Yeah. He had a Billy Bob, I'm going to puke. And he goes, I'm not going to do it on the ball because that's going to make it a little slippery. And he just went, why don't I go? Go over to left guard?
That tweet is running right now, let me tell you. It's we're officially up to 265,000 views on that tweet.
Oh my God.
Clifford Franklin's over here like, Coach, I see someone puking. I'm gonna start puking. We gotta shuffle the huddle, man.
Exactly. All right, let's go to Coach LaFleur. We got him at the podium. Probably can't hear him. Don't blame me. All right, here we go.
Certainly just the challenges of going into a football game without your quarterback, with a guy that's been here for 3 weeks. And it's a credit to everybody. It's a credit to our players to be able to go out there and execute and do what we needed to do to win a game. And our coaching staff for putting them in a good position.
Speaking of executing, like Steno told us, look, we can't just run the ball all game long. He came close, but Malik made the big throw to Dontavian on the touchdown. He makes the big throw to Dobbs on the big gain.
What a catch by Rome. I mean, that was a big time catch. I mean, they both were big time catches because I think Wicks, that ball was coming right when he was out of his break. I want to say, seeing it live, I thought he bobbled it for a second, but to be able to turn up and make that play, I thought both great plays by those guys.
Do you feel like Malik, though, was ready to make the handful of throws that you absolutely needed?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anytime you leave a game and you're 12-14, I'd say that's a pretty efficient day. And I know that we did some things in terms of some of the shorter passes, and we didn't throw a ton down the field. But, when he got the opportunity to throw it down there to Rome, went up and made a play for him.
Your O-line, you praised him a few times today. I mean, there's Elton got sick. Josh got sick. There's a series of video of that. Just how hard was it those guys saying was 80 degrees out there?
Yeah, I asked Malik why he didn't throw the ball on that third down, and he told me that Josh threw up on the ball. I was like, that's the first time I've ever heard that. Matter of fact, the official came over to me, Sean came over to me and said, we saw your center thrown up on the ball. Do you want us to take him out next time? I said, absolutely. Please do that because, you're talking about a critical situation. And it's third down, and I've never had a throw with vomit on a football. So I don't know. I don't think Malik probably didn't appreciate that.
Put it in the practice schedule.
Drills are going to have. Never mind.
That's in the
I think we'll leave that to you guys.
Thank you, guys.
All right, have a good one. Thanks.
Oh my God,
that's going to be
Josh,
the next section.
You poor son of a bee.
Yes, and he did. He literally he snapped the ball, he took it, and he just rolled right. And they asked him, "Why didn't you throw that pass?" Josh threw up on the ball.
Coach, can I get some water to wash my hands off?
Take that snap and go.
Can I get some Lysol, please?
Oh, that's hilarious. That broke me, man.
Could you imagine he grabbed his towel real quick, tried to wipe it while he's running with it?
Respect on it was wet, Coach.
Oh my God!
Here we go. Look, here they come in. Look, Tad Samato said there's Yak, and then there's Yak. You know what I'm saying? God, it's hilarious, dude. Absolutely hilarious.
Clay, I got like 19 comments.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Start right now if you want to maybe get into that a little bit before we get too far behind. I'm sorry. Oh.
This is the tweet I put out a few days ago, by the way. I said, "Hear me out, Packer fans," and I put Willie Beeman with Malik Willis here. All right, so I'm just saying. And there's Jacob's favorite coach, Coach D'Amato, right there.
Okay, another one real quick. We're just going to create a divide here. I hate that movie. I think it's stupid. And I think that the coach, I think what's that guy's name? I can't remember. Is it DiCaprio? What's his name? Pacino. That's the one. Yeah. I thought that was the worst, most contrived, most stupid coach speak I've ever heard in my life. But anyways, let's get into the
Jacob's all positive today. I love it.
Oh
man.
yeah, dude.
Wait, hey, if it's your first time tuning in, wait till we lose again. Go ahead.
I think I was more positive last week, to be honest. Respect Oranges. Let's go this. 151 yards, but a fumble. He's speaking my language.
That was tough. That touchback was tough.
Got to clean up those errors. Jacob should have he really should. That was an amazing play. Tough. I don't know how you call that, man. That was a tough end to that run. It literally happened on like the half-yard line. That's just
Dude, he was in. He was in.
He was in.
And that was a loss in the red zone, turnover possession with no points out of that drive. Like
exactly.
that's a problem. Those are the issues that we need to fix. It would have been 21.
Quit it, Clayton. Quit it, Clayton.
Coach Lynn knows what's up. He said that movie's a classic. Thank you, sir. Let me tell you about that movie, son. You've got Jim Brown, the great Jim Brown, one of the greatest, if not the greatest running backs in the history of the game in that movie. I'm talking about multiple people. Terrell Owens was in that movie. It was just a perfect depiction of pro football. And at the time, everybody said, that's such a black eye on professional football. That stuff doesn't really happen. Boy, oh boy. Go check the register one more time, fellas, because everything in that movie you've seen happen in the NFL. So there you go. Go ahead, Jacob. You have it back, sir. Thank you, Coach. I appreciate you. Hold on a minute. We got a super chat. Shut up, Jacob. Jarrell Lee in the chat says Jeff Halfley, Van Ness, and Jacob's guy, Devontae White, with the green heart and the flex emoji. Hey, Devontae White with that sack, Jacob. Huge.
Hey, that was awesome. I thought that we'll watch the tape, I'm sure, going forward. He had multiple plays where he was a freaking hurricane, dude. That guy looked unbelievable. And I very happy. Have we had Brambo's chat up here as well?
Yeah.
We already did that one.
No, we did it earlier.
And it looked like it was a TE stunt too on that. Where Wyatt went first coming across the tackle's face and LVN came in, bam.
Yeah. And shout out to Jarrell Lee. Thank you for coming to YouTube member, bud. Appreciate you. Go ahead, Emilio. Sorry.
No, nothing. I'm excited. I'm happy. I was a little upset by that roughing the passer that LVN got, but it's all right. We'll take it.
Yeah, I understand
it was close, but hear me out. I know that trick. I know Richardson. It's clipped up, but his helmet is not on, and that sleeve that goes over the chin strap is literally like the slipperiest thing ever. Like it does your chin doesn't fully even sit into the chin strap when you have one of those on. So obviously it's going to come sliding right up. That's my only take on it.
I got you. It wasn't like it was, if he'd really hit him hard in the chin, he'd been out of the game. Right. But when you see as an official that helmet pop up, you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, no, I get it. I'm just saying, like, hey, come on, let me check your straps, bud. There's no way those things are tight. He doesn't unbuckle it when he takes it off. You know what I mean? That's an issue.
Yeah. Godsmack AR69 says with the super chat, thank you, sir. He says Packers won, Lions and the 49ers lost. Bodes well for us down the road. There you go. Now, was it Minnesota that beat the 49ers? Is that right?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. So on the NFC North roundtable, the Vikings fans said he thought the Vikings were going to beat the Niners, and my official quote on that show was, to quote Ricky Bobby, "I'm too drunk to taste that chicken." So he was correct. I got to take the L on that one. So good stuff, Godsmack. Appreciate the super chat, buddy. That's good news, man.
So my thought on the Vikings potentially coming into Lambeau and maybe sneaking a win out of us. That was my loss early in the season when we looked at the first quarter. I didn't think it was going to be the Eagles. I thought it was going to be the Vikings, man. They are, I don't know. That's
what's
really
crazy.
divisional, man.
I was talking 10 to 13 wins was kind of my range.
Yeah.
And, after Jordan went down, it's like, man, if we lose any of these next 3 games, you've got to take that off the 13 that I was kind of accounting for. So I was kind of sitting at 10. Now I'm back to about 11. It's probably where we're at, to be honest with you. And we'll see if Jordan plays next week. I told Mandy, she was like, "Do you think Jordan will play when we're in Nashville?" And I told her, I said, "I'll tell you this: if they lose today, I think there's a better chance of Jordan playing. But if they win, I could also see him being like, you know what? Let's let him sit another week." Yeah. And by the way, that's the Malik Willis revenge tour. I'm kind of excited.
You've been begging for that since.
Hey, that's a good revenge tour there. Let's try to blow through these real quick. How does Green Bay do this all the time with these nail biters? I'll tell you how. They give me a heart attack, and I want to die every time. Mr. Goat says Kraft is a top 3 utility tight end. I think that Tucker Kraft may be a top 3 tight end, period. He is you guys talk about this real quick, and we'll move on to the next. This guy just consistently impresses me. Like he's good, dude. He's really good, in my opinion.
No, yeah, Tucker Kraft he's legit, man. The dude, he can do everything. He's not as valuable flexed out wide, but there's certain moments in the game and throughout the season that you need that guy that's that inline tight end that can attach and convince people that you're going to run the football. And again, he had only 2 catches. He only targeted twice. But, man, one of those 2 catches, if I remember correctly, was on a 3rd down, and he converts for the 1st down. It was absolutely huge. And that's the moment is never too big for him. And Emilio, his hands, bro, like he never drops passes. Never.
Dude, no, even right after a block, little chip block, let me hold him for a sec, just leak out, catch it, turn up field, let me get 12 yards. Perfect. On the next play, all right, I'll come in the backfield. I'll be the lead blocker. And he's on the field, like we talked about when Musgrave is out there. They bring Musgrave in. But then he's also out on the field when they bring Ben Sims out to be the other run blocking tight end. So it's Kraft isn't not on the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead, Jacob. You want to hit some more, Buff?
Sure. Greg Rice. I want everyone to send a little happy thought or prayer to on Tuesday for my hip surgery. I should be drugged up, but I'm doing PTA. Greg, I hope you have a great surgery and everything goes well. Obviously, the PTA posse will be wishing that for you always, dude.
My knee.
Perfect drop. Absolutely perfect drop. Yeah, we're definitely we'll say a little prayer for you, brother. Make sure
most definitely.
Goes great. Y'all want to hear from Malik Willis real quick or no?
Yeah,
let's go.
All right. Let's do just the opening here. Hopefully we can hear it. Here's Malik Willis at the podium a few minutes ago.
It was great to get the win. I mean, obviously, after last week and fighting so hard, we want to come out and do our best to get one. And with Jordan out, we just had to come together, and I'm glad we got it.
So how many plays did you know? How big was the game plan, and how do you think all that went as far as knowing what you were doing?
I mean, it was a normal game plan as far as that goes. He told me he was going to give me everything and take out what I didn't feel comfortable with, just as if I didn't get those reps, and I felt great about the whole game plan. So that's awesome.
You of yourself for how far you've come. I mean, you got traded for a 7th round pick, and here you are a couple weeks later. You're starting with the Green Bay Packers, and you're winning your first game.
I wouldn't say I'm proud. I'm more blessed than anything. I'm just grateful for God giving me another opportunity somewhere different, a clean slate, and just giving me the opportunity to be around guys who helped me get going in this past 3 weeks as far as just learning as much as I can, and guys in that locker room who are behind you, whoever's starting, and just continuing to, have that confidence in you. It builds, and it just helps you go out and be yourself.
A clean slate. How confident were you that if you were able to get an opportunity somewhere else, that you were ready to kind of deliver?
I mean, more than anything, you don't know, but you just continue to work until you get that opportunity. I mean, the last opportunity I got to start a game was my rookie year. I wasn't where I wanted to be as far as the offense went, or just where I was playing NFL football, as a rookie. And you don't control that, and it's a results-based business, and that's just what it is. But I just continue to try to work until I get another opportunity, and just so happened it came this week.
Well, we got us a backup quarterback for the next 2 years.
That's a good man right there. I'm telling you what.
Absolutely. I liked his interview from the start this week. I like the way he carried himself and the way he responds. And what I liked is when he made the decision to run, he decided. That was great.
Sorry. Go ahead. I just had to post that. This was on YouTube, or I'm sorry, on Twitter at UW_Steve, Badger Steve, tweeted out this video of Matt LaFleur losing his headset and jumping up and down on the sideline. He was so fired up. That was on the Wicks touchdown, wasn't it, Emilio? Is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Just you could tell he was so happy for Malik Willis. Go ahead, Emilio. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying I just like Malik's decision making. You know, if the pocket started to collapse, I'm getting outside. He kept his head up. If not, all right, I'm running the ball. Get down, don't take a hit. I mean, he was smart with everything he did. He took care of the ball. Didn't make any dumb mistakes. I was happy with him. Kid got his first passing touchdown. First win as a quarterback. So how can we be mad at it, really?
Yeah, I'm excited, man, to see what he does. Go ahead, Jacob. You can keep on hitting the chat if you want, bro. I'm gonna keep coming.
I mean, man, the only problem is the chat's going way too fast. So we've got a lot of stuff we should be starring right now. Todd right here says Malik 85.7 completion rate. Awesome. CJN is coming in, granting a bunch of people memberships. I appreciate that. Obviously, Joe is coming in here. Coach Land, new member. Jarrell Lee is coming in with a new member. Joseph says, sorry if I've been covered already, but does Quay need to be benched? He was so bad. What do we think about that there?
Tell you, man, listen, another dropped interception. We've seen it all year last year. I can't. It's hard for me to disagree. I want to say he needs to be. When you say he needs to be benched, then you got to say someone else deserves to start over Quay. I'm not there yet, but he definitely hasn't lived up to that first round hype. Edgerrin Cooper got a lot more snaps, it seemed like, today.
Dude, he stuck him on that one play.
Oh, he did.
I absolutely stuck Jonathan Taylor, wrapped him up, just bit the ball. It was beautiful.
Yeah, and Quay Walker did lead the team of tackles. It was only 6, but again, he had that interception at the end. He could have sealed it, and he just literally hit him right in the face mask, man. And we've seen that multiple times last year. And he's good in pass coverage. It doesn't mean he's good at picking the ball off.
Right.
He is very athletic, and he's got really good pass coverage skills. It's just the ball skills themselves, man. I understand where you're coming from. Like I said, I'm not to the point where I think we should bench him for Eric Wilson or Isaiah McDuffie by no stretch, but I understand the frustration. I do. Go ahead, Jake.
Then we'll go ahead and say, did the Lions lose to the Bucs? Is that real?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. So we're talking about the Vikings possibly. Did they win over the 49ers? Hit us up in the chat. Okay. And the Lions lose.
The Vikings won, so I thought they were 2-0 in the division, and we're 1-1. Lions are 1-1, and the Bears are up tonight, man.
Gotcha. J. Cole says time of possession 40 minutes to 19 minutes. That's pretty freaking crazy. Like, to me, again, that's where I think the score should be better. But to Clinton's point, that shows that I was wrong, and they controlled the game. They literally controlled the game. There's no reason that I can articulate. What's the word? Articulate that in a better way. That's right there. It's facts. I just lost to facts. Eric Sutherland says, I'll be 50 tomorrow. Thanks, Pack, for the early gift. Go Pack, go. You're gonna be 50? Don't look a day over 80, dude. You don't look a day over 80. You are great looking guy right there. I'll tell you what. I can't honestly, did we get most of these super chats here? We already got your
we got all the super chats. I made sure of that.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So let's try to maybe hit on some of the live chats going on right now.
Cool.
I mean, basically, people are just kind of commenting on what's going on right now.
Let's go ahead and mark a few, Jacob. I'll go back to the box score. We need to clean that up anyway. So just mark a few. We'll come back to it, okay? Just to kind of give you guys the quick rundown of the box score from earlier today. Green Bay obviously beats the Colts 16-10. Malik Willis 12 of 14 for 122 yards and a touchdown, no interceptions. His passer rating was through the roof. I don't think we got that stat here. It was in the 120s last I seen. Josh Jacobs on the ground obviously carried the water all day. 32 carries, 151 yards. Should have had the touchdown. Fumbled at the goal line, though, unfortunately. He runs that ball in there, too. This game is over a lot sooner. Malik Willis, 6 carries for 41 yards, most of which I didn't see one designed zone read. It seemed like there was a couple quarterback draws and him scrambling on passing plays, which was phenomenal. Jaden Reed had 2 carries for 37 yards. Marshawn Lloyd, 6 carries for 15 yards. Emmanuel Wilson kind of back down to earth, 5 carries for 9 yards. Bo Melton, 2 carries for 8 yards. All right, receiving-wise, Romeo Dobbs led the way, 3 targets, 3 catches, 62 yards. Dontavion Wicks, 4 targets, 3 catches, 26 yards, and the touchdown on the F-zipper motion. We've got Tucker Kraft, 2 targets, 2 catches, 16 yards. Jaden Reed, 2 targets, 2 catches, 9 yards. Musgrave, 1 target, 1 catch for 6 yards. Marshawn Lloyd had a catch for 3 as well. As far as the defensive side of the ball, like we said, Quay Walker led the team in tackles with 6. Javon Bullard had 5 tackles. Isaiah McDuffie with 4. Xavier McKinney had a tackle for a loss. Let's see what else here. Devontae Wyatt had a sack, 2 tackles for a loss. Great day for him. Lucas Van Ness had a tackle for a loss there on, I think it was Jonathan Taylor, where he tackled him for like a 3 or 4 yard loss. That set the tone for that drive for sure. Yeah. Xavier McKinney had the interception. Matter of fact, we've got that. We're going to show it here in a second. Evan Williams gets the mop-up time interception on the Hail Mary. Still counts. Eric Wilson got the interception too. We talked about the game plan might be trying to force Anthony Richardson to throw to his right rather than his left. He's more comfortable throwing left. At least that's what the passing chart, the hot chart, shows. Eric Wilson picks that ball off. I mean, he put it right between his numbers essentially. And then, of course, Braden Narvison, another good day in my opinion. 3 for 4 on the day with field goals and 1 for 1 on extra points. He had a long of 46 yards. One of the unsung heroes, though, Daniel Whelan. That dude can boom it. Had a long of 59 according to ESPN. He had 3 punts for 139 yards. All 3 of his punts inside the 20, 1 or 2 of which were actually right around the 5-yard line. Just a phenomenal job punt. So go ahead, Jake. If you got anything, I'll pull up that interception according to Next Gen Stats here.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's it's crazy that maybe we should talk about the fact that our punter is amazing. Like the dude is just literally he's clutch. And I talked about it back in maybe, I don't know, a month ago or whatever, when I was like, why isn't there just like a clutch punter? Like punting seems so easy. How is it not a skill that somebody's just mastered to the point where they can literally put it on here or there? I'm telling you, Daniel Whelan, the Irishman, he seems like he's got it together, man. I mean, he really does seem like he is. And that is an unwritten, I think, unbelievable aspect of the game that people don't really quantify, is that the fact that if you can turn the field, what was it, a 66-yard punt where we're sitting back there? I mean, that legitimately helped us win the game, which is not something you usually say when you're talking about punters. It's usually going to be detrimental to your game or whatever you want to say about that. I also just want to say that this is another good point with the special teams. I've been very critical of them. You guys know that. Greg Rice says, no one is commenting on how Narvi made the kick that was partially blocked. Did y'all see that? When I saw it, I was like, oh no, it's not going in.
I wasn't 100% sure it got touched, but if it did, that's just phenomenal, man. It's absolutely wild.
100% it did, but that thing had some speed on it. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Going back to the interception from Xavier McKinney, obviously 2 games, 2 interceptions, just a great pickup by Goody in free agency. This was the play according to Next Gen Stats. So the play call was nickel 4-2-5, cover 1, double LB fire, which is basically a double linebacker fire up the middle. So you end up bringing 6 on the blitz, cover 1, meaning 1 deep safety, everyone else's man coverage across the board. Understand, one of these blitzers may have been a green dog blitz, meaning if the running back hadn't stayed in and blocked and he went out in the pass route, he probably would have been covered in man coverage. But the fact that he stayed in, he went ahead and blitzed. But again, what you want to key in on is look at Quay, look at McDuffie. What you're going to see is Quay's going to walk up, mug the line of scrimmage. He's going to go first, and you're trying to get everybody a hat on a hat and then create a free lane for Isaiah McDuffie as he blitzes. I'm just going to roll it through manually. You'll see Quay walk up right here, bang. See the play action. He fills the gap. Now watch McDuffie come in. So that's probably a green dog blitz, I would imagine. And again, pressure pick, coverage sack. That pressure led to the overthrow. This looks just like, and I said it when we were watching it in real time, it looked just like the interception Anthony Richardson threw last week. You remember he overthrew, middle of the road throw, right? Kind of that intermediate level, little pressure, overthrew the receiver, safety dove. We said it on the pregame show. Dove made the diving interception. I don't think McKinney had to dive for it, but again, it's the same exact play. Play action, pressure in his face, dumps it, overthrow. McKinney got it. Intercept. Nice little return, too, picking up what was roughly, 15 extra invisible yards there on the interception. So this is just the bringing 6, cover 1 man is what this was. So
I got to hop off, Clay. You guys have a great rest of the podcast. Go Pack, go. We'll see you next week.
All right. Take care, Bob.
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll get ready to wrap this thing up, guys, as the Packers, like I said, come away with a big win here, 16-10. Nobody was giving them a shot at winning this game. Phenomenal play calling by Matt LaFleur. That was the big takeaway for me, man. He broke out all the stops in the running game. You got to give credit to the line, too. I know we had some penalties we need to clean up with obviously the holding and everything. But overall, just a phenomenal day. It was a lot of fun to watch. We're going to clean it up here with the rest of the chat. Some of these came in much earlier. Tim Hurley earlier says, our quarterback outplayed theirs. There's no two ways about it. I think Anthony Richardson's overrated, me personally. He's got a huge arm. He's very mobile. He's got all the athletic ability in the world. But, man, that doesn't make a hill of beans playing quarterback in the NFL, no doubt. CJN, Lions lose to the Bucs. We hit that one earlier, I'm pretty sure. Eric Sutherland, I'll be 50 tomorrow. Thanks, Pack, for the early gift. Go, Pack, go. Happy birthday to you. Jacob may have hit these while I was trying to pull up the presser earlier, too. Coach Lynn says, Quay played wide receiver in high school and played basketball. How does his hands be so suspect? It's a great question, Coach. Great question. And I never heard that on his scouting report coming out of Georgia. It's almost like he just presses. You know what I mean? Like, he can make a play on the ball, but when it's a give-me interception, it's almost like he's trying too hard. And that kind of goes back to that first year where he got kicked out of the game a couple times and all those mental mistakes. Another guy who's got all the athletic ability in the world, but, man, sometimes it just doesn't click. I don't know. It was a tough day for Quay today, especially with that dropped interception. Greg Rice, our punter, is clutch. Amen. Greg Rice, no one is commenting on RV making that kick. So, yeah, we already hit these. Jacob just didn't unmark them. There you go. And then Ron Sample, Packers, 424 yards rushing in 2 games. Running game's alive and well, man. And listen, Aaron Jones is a stud. He's going to continue to be a stud as long as he stays healthy. But this is the best plan B that I think our boy Brian Gutekunst could have, was having brung in Josh Jacobs to replace Aaron Jones. There are 2 different styles of runners. They both run hard and they run with power, but Josh Jacobs is very, very good at setting up the cutbacks, as where Aaron Jones is just like, you don't know which way he's going to cut. Like, that dude is just cut on a dime, way more agile than Josh Jacobs. But Josh Jacobs runs with such good pad level. And the main thing with Josh Jacobs, again, he just seems very smart, very patient, setting up his cuts. I'm really excited to see how he finishes the season for sure. So with that being said, we pretty much hit everything we were going to. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up there for the post-game show. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us in here. This was a lot of fun. Shout out to Brambo for the super chat. Chris Arneson with the super chat. Thank you so much. Torgrel with the super chat. Thank you, sir. CJN gifting 10 memberships to loyal viewers here. Appreciate you. Coach Lynn becoming a new member. Jarrell Lee becoming a new member. Jarrell Lee with the super chat. And, of course, Godsmack AR69. Thank you for the super chat as well, buddy. We really appreciate y'all supporting us. So, that being said, Packers win 16-10. We will see y'all tomorrow for PTA Live. I'm going to try to get Chalk Talk ready for no later than Tuesday. That's my goal. I'll get started on it as soon as all of the tape drops. But we will see you guys and gals tomorrow. Everybody have a great Monday. Don't work too hard. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world, and go Pack Go.